Hi everyone, I am Denise Dua, representative of Group 9. Our topic is factors affecting the cost of a market study. Developers often underestimate the value of an impartial assessment of the market. They understand that they will have to pay for the services of other professionals to get plans approved. But they see no need to pay for an outside market study unless a lender or a government agency asks them to do so. Even when they recognize the need for an objective analysis, they may not have a realistic sense of what a market study will cost. The following will influence the cost of market research. Number 1, study objectives. For example, for developers, their objectives are for their product planning, pricing, design, and phasing. For investors, it is for their investment strategy. And for real estate brokers naman, it is for their marketing strategy. Number 2, expertise needed. These are the professionals that will conduct the market study, like the urban planners, the consultant, the architects, the engineers. And lastly, the complexity of research. This will be depending on the use of the project. It could be mixed use or single use property. And now, we will be discussing the factors that affects the cost of a market study. So number 1, we have the number of land uses to be studied. As I mentioned earlier, we have the multi-use project and the single-use property. So the data needed for both projects are different. So we have an example here for mixed-use project like an office space with hotel and condo in one. This will require more detailed analysis, and this will also require more than one consultant compared to the condominium alone, which will only gather data, employment data, and sources of demand. So for mixed use, it is more complex and it is riskier. And if it will take you more than one consultant, we also need to specify their scope of service for each expert analyst. Para pag meron na silang scope of service, it is more efficient, there will be no duplication of work, and they will not waste their energy. Okay, next we have the number 2, level of detail required. So number 1, overview of local area demographics and key characteristics of the competition. For the earlier stage of the planning, this data will already suffice the planning of the project. While katagalan, we also need to have the careful exposition and detailed information about competitors and demand segments. This will be submitted to the investors and to our lenders. Sometimes these investors, they also need to see the detailed methodology of the project. So we need to hire more people to do that research. So that is also an additional expense. Next, number 3, we have using a market analyst with experience and credentials. So of course, we have the senior consultant, they are more expensive kasi they have higher experience on the field, and they also have good background when it comes to this kind of jobs. Junior staff members are more affordable. Sometimes the senior consultant comes with their staff na, so the package fee, the fee is already packaged, isahan na lang. So the senior consultant will oversee the job of the junior staff members na gagawa ng field work at iti-check na lang ni senior consultant. We also have other examples, like for the developers, they have sometimes the in-house research team. So they are employed directly to the developer. minsan nag-outsource din sila, kumukuha sila ng consulting firms na nag-specialize sa real estate. So, minsan mas expensive rin itong mga consulting firms. Next, we have the fieldwork expenses. So, from the word fieldwork, kailangan natin lumabas sa field, we need to travel. So, we have travel-related expenses. Example, if the developer is from Cebu and the project is in Davao, if they have in-house research team, they need to send their in-house research team to Davao pa. So, they will have to pay for the travel expenses, accommodation, allowance, on top of the salary of this research team. So, additional expenses po siya. While pwede naman po silang makatipid kung kukuha na lang sila ng locals. So, they will hire research team from Davao City. So, mababawas na dito yung accommodation, yung travel expenses. Babayaran na lang po nila ito ng sahod for the work. And meron ding iba na they are willing to spend a little more extra for known and experienced consultant whom they trust. I think big developers do this. Maybe meron na silang experienced consultant na gumagawa ng research para sa kanilang different projects all over Philippines. So, nagbabayad na lang sila dito. Of course, this consultant is not really cheap. They come with a fee, and I think this is with premium fee. Mahal sila. But if, you get their trust of the client, doon talaga pumupunta sa mga experienced consultant na. Next, number 5, we have the buying data. So, for buying data, you can buy this on private vendors. So, if they gather the data in behalf of you, it is good kasi nandyan na yung data, ready-made na siya. And it can save you time. But it is costly. Sometimes also, these reports with high-quality photos, graphs, or maps require a more expensive assistant. So, mas mahal na rin po yung fee nila kung quality yung photos, yung graphs na ipapakita or ipapresent nila or ibibigay nila sa inyo. Next, we have the hiring subcontractors. So, for hiring subcontractors, ito sila yung magagather ng data in behalf sa inyo. So, there are focus groups and specialists can save time and efforts. So, if you get focus groups, usually you need to hire a moderator. So, these moderators, dapat, they are very knowledgeable on where to get the data. They already have a target market para mabigay yung data na kailangan ng analyst. And number 2, we have the experienced firms. So, these experienced firms are widely used to get the job done effectively and efficiently. Ito talaga yung trabaho nila, kumukuha ng data. Pero medyo may kamahalan din. It comes with a fee also. So, the examples of the data that they're going to get are through online survey, questionnaire forms, finding target audience, tabulate responses, gauge reactions, and record comments. And lastly, ang pinaka-last po na factor is ang ating scheduling. So, alam naman natin na kung mamadaliin natin yung ating market analyst or market researcher, mas mahal siya, di ba, pag rush work. So, mas maganda that we have enough time to prepare. We will give them enough time to give us the research para mas less yung babayaran. Kasi sometimes, if you rush the work, this consultant will add more people and they need to have extra hands. So, that is also another extra fee. So, that's it for our report. Thank you and have a good night.